When you die, and that day is coming, what is going to be standing around your bed? Not your family, not your achievements, the unfinished ones, the ideas you never acted on, the version of you that never showed up. They will be there, waiting. And they will have one question. Why didn't you try? Stay with me. Because what I'm about to walk you through is going to permanently change the way you think about risk, failure, and the life you are still choosing not to fully live. Most people were taught the same lie. Have a backup plan. Keep something to fall back on. Play it safe until you know for certain. And I understand where that comes from. The people who told you that loved you. They were trying to protect you from pain, from embarrassment, from failure. But here is what they didn't tell you. The backup plan becomes the plan every single time. The moment you give yourself an exit, the moment you build a comfortable way out, you stop going all in on the way forward. The safety net doesn't catch you when you fall. It catches you before you ever learn to fly. Listen carefully. The people who built the lives worth admiring, the ones who created things that outlasted them, who changed industries, who left legacies their children will still be living off, none of them got there by managing their risk carefully. They got there by being willing to fall forward, by choosing to hit the ground moving, pointed at something rather than standing still and calling it wisdom. Falling forward means even your failures are progress. You don't know what you'll hit, but you are always covering ground. Here is a fact that should rewire the way you think about your failures. One of the greatest power hitters in baseball history struck out over 2,600 times. If you only measured him by his failures, and there were thousands of them, you would have told him to quit. You would have pulled him from the lineup. You would have missed the point entirely. Because you don't remember the strikeouts. You remember what he did when the pitch was right. And Thomas Edison, who is now synonymous with invention, with light itself, ran over 1,000 experiments that didn't work before he ran the one that changed the world. 1,000 failures, 1,000 experiments that produced nothing but information, nothing but data, nothing but one more thing he knew didn't work, which meant he was one step closer to what did. This is where most people lose. They treat failure as a verdict, a final judgment, something to be avoided at all costs. So they never take the swing. They never run the experiment. They stay in the safe middle, never succeeding wildly, never failing visibly, and they call that living. That is not living. That is waiting. Don't skip this part, because this is where the story gets personal. Imagine a 20-year-old with a 1.8 GPA, academically dismissed, no clear direction, no obvious path. Every marker that society uses to measure potential pointing the wrong way. That could be you right now. Maybe it already was. But in a moment of total uncertainty, sitting in a barbershop not knowing what was next, someone spoke something over that young man that he held on to. A word that had no visible evidence behind it, no data to support it, just a certainty planted by a stranger that something large was coming if he kept moving. That young man did not quit. He didn't have a clear path. He had a direction. He had the willingness to keep failing towards something. And 30 years later, he walked back into the same theater that had rejected him at the start and performed on its stage to a standing ovation. The failure and the victory were in the same building. The distance between them was 30 years of not giving up. Your rejection is not your ending. It is your address. For now. The question is whether you stay there. If this is speaking to something in you, subscribe. This channel is built for people who are serious about building a life they won't regret. Now let's finish strong. This will change how you see yourself. So I need you to sit with this image. You are at the end. The work is done. Whatever you built or didn't build is already in the record. And standing around you are the ghosts, not of people you lost, of things that never became real because you never acted on them. The business you thought about for years but never started. The creative work you kept deferring until you felt ready. The relationship you were too guarded to pursue. The version of yourself you kept saving for later. They are there, not angry, heartbroken, because they came to you. They were assigned to you. They could only have existed through your specific hands, your specific mind, your specific courage. And now they go into the ground with you. Unlived, unexpressed, unrealized. That image should create urgency in your body right now, not anxiety. Urgency. Because you are not at the end, you are here. You have time that those at the end would have given anything to have back. And the question is not whether the gifts are inside you. They are. The question is what you are going to do with what you have. Here is the thing about risk that rarely gets said clearly. Risk is not just about career moves or financial decisions. Risk is about being open. Open to people you don't fully understand yet, to ideas that challenge what you already believe, to the version of yourself that doesn't exist yet but is waiting for you to step into the discomfort that creates it. The chances you take define you, not just professionally, entirely. The relationships you pursue, the beliefs you are willing to examine, the rooms you are willing to walk into without knowing how you'll be received. The people who change the world are not the people with the best plans. They are the people willing to move without complete information, to love without complete certainty, to create without guaranteed reception, to try knowing full well they might fail. Because the alternative is the slow, quiet, suffocating death of potential left unused. You were not built for that alternative, so here is the close. You have the training, you have the talent, you have the specific, unrepeatable, irreplaceable combination of gifts that no one else on earth has in exactly the same configuration. The only remaining question is whether you have the guts to fail. Not the guts to succeed, not the guts to look good, the guts to fall, publicly, imperfectly, without a guarantee. And keep your body pointed forward when you do. Because that direction, that unwillingness to let failure become a final destination, is the only thing that has ever separated the people who built something from the people who only imagined it. Dream big. Set the goals that give the dreams a delivery date. Show up when it is hard. Fall forward when you stumble. And never, not once, not for a single day, settle for the life that is less than the one you are actually capable of living. Subscribe. Share this with someone who needs to hear it today. And then go take the risk you have been postponing. The ghosts are waiting to see what you do next. Fall forward.